before we get on Black Flag, I want to talk about a little topic. I haven't been speaking on some things that have been happening in the world of video games, but there's been a lot of changes in the video game world. Microsoft laying off literally every single one of their studios. People getting fired left and right. Like studios, I think like 3 of them announced or had already previously announced and made trailers that they were making games, and then their studio is now being closed when they have a game being made. Dude, Xbox is like killing all their studios and
This
putting
should settle
all
my
of the
debts with
eggs
Anto.
into like their big games. So like Gears and Halo, Elder Scrolls, and Fable, which is interesting. The last few iterations of each of those games have been the least profitable for Xbox. Like Starfield basically flopped. Elder Scrolls Online is online. I don't give a fuck about Elder Scrolls Online. Fallout 76, people play it, but it's definitely not popularly known to be good. The last Gears game was also not good. The last Halo game, also not good, and also a lie. The last Halo was supposed to be the last Halo. They called it Infinite because they were going to keep adding more and more to it, basically making a live service almost like a Destiny. And then they were like, just kidding, we're not actually doing that. So now they're gonna make like another Halo. We haven't had a new Fable in like 10 years, and now they're killing all of their games and IPs that would probably keep Xbox on the map. I just don't see those games. I don't see Bethesda games, any of them, Gears, Halo, or Fable, keeping Xbox relevant as they want to be. I think Xbox needs a new IP, just like how once Halo was a new IP, right? God of War was once a new IP. Imagine if like Expedition 33 was Xbox's new IP, something like that. Holy, that would sell fucking consoles, dude. If they had a game that was just as good as Expedition 33, brand new IP for Xbox, they'd be set. They do? Oh, they do? You think Keeper, the Lighthouse game, is gonna be the next Halo? It's gonna sell consoles? You think South of Midnight is gonna be the console seller they need? You think that's gonna be the next God of War for Xbox? And do not mistake me. I don't think these games are bad at all. I just think these games, they're not gonna keep Xbox alive like a God of War or an Expedition 33 would. PS5 is better than Xbox? Yes, Billy. Now go drink your apple juice, all right? Look, don't watch too much Bluey. Your bedtime is 9:30. We talked about this. Yup, unfollowed LMAO stupid as fuck bitch. Cause I told him to go drink apple juice, dude. He's bit of good news with a certain popular franchise though. Well, you guys might be aware that I can't play Fallout music because it's all gonna be copyrighted. So give me 1 second, actually. So, yes, 'tis true. Obsidian is now working on a new Fallout game. You guys might be aware of a man by the name of Josh Sawyer. Now, you may or may not be aware of him, and most recently has been named as being the director working on a new Fallout game at Obsidian. Let me tell you what he has done. There's a man named Josh Sawyer. He was the director of a game called Pillars of Eternity. He was also the director of a game called Pentiment. Now, he is also known for making a little tiny, super niche, not very popular game called Fallout New Vegas. And he is leading a new one at Obsidian. I'm wondering though, why now? Why did this not happen like years ago? And this is after Xbox has basically announced like all of their layoffs and everything that they're changing. The Fallout TV show? Well, here's the thing, okay? Xbox, Microsoft, all of these games, you know, letting them do whatever they want. This has been the motto, I guess, of Phil Spencer's rule over Microsoft and Xbox. Guess I should say Xbox. He basically was like, I'm finding studios to add to our roster and letting them do whatever they want once we acquire them. And that mentality sounds great. It sounds like full creative freedom for all of these studios to do and make the games that they want to make. Unfortunately, these studios have not been making very good games. And apparently, the games that they want to make are not very good sales-wise and also just popularity-wise, and it's just not enough. They had Hellblade make 2 Hellblade games, Senua's Saga games, or whatever they're called. I don't even know what they're called anymore. They're apparently making a 3rd one, which I feel like, why? Why is there a 3rd one being made? And then not only is a 3rd one being made, but right after that was announced, their trailer for their 3rd new Senua game, their studio's being kicked out of Microsoft. I don't know what the fuck's going on with them now. Bethesda didn't let Obsidian make a new Fallout after New Vegas. I think Obsidian made a better Fallout than Bethesda did. I think Bethesda was a little salty about that. And after that, they never made one again. Todd said no. Todd was like, no. So we were never gonna get a new Fallout game made by Obsidian. But then Xbox, okay, bought Bethesda, bought Obsidian, and now, right, so Xbox owned Fallout and owned Obsidian, and anyone now would think like, okay, yes, get Obsidian to make another Fallout while Bethesda makes like Starfield and Elder Scrolls, right? Like that seems like the no-brainer, common sense. Of course, we'll have Obsidian do what Obsidian does best. They know how to make a Fallout game, clearly. So why the fuck did Xbox have Obsidian make Outer Worlds 2 and Avowed? Not only Outer Worlds 1, they made Outer Worlds 2. Also, apparently they're making an Avowed 2? Or is that also being canceled in the big cancellations? They canceled it? They canceled it. Honestly, I'm really sorry. Thank God. Nobody fucking wanted Avowed 2. Nobody wanted that. You know what they do want? This. They want Fallout New Vegas now. They want Obsidian to go back. I hope they still do know how to make Fallout New Vegas, because I played Outer Worlds 1, I played Outer Worlds 2, I played Avowed. Playing those did not give me a lot of hope for a Fallout New Vegas 2, or even like any type of Fallout universe game that Obsidian can make now, because they didn't have the juice, they didn't have the sauce, they didn't have the flavor that I found in Fallout New Vegas. I didn't feel that in Outer Worlds or in Avowed. But Josh Sawyer wasn't on those. And Josh Sawyer, he's not just a random writer, random guy, doody-doody-doo. He is the director. He is the guy at the top, the head, the overseer. Like, he is the one. He's been the head of like Pillars of Eternity. He was the head of Pentiment. A lot of people liked Pentiment. He was the head of Fallout New Vegas. He's the guy.
I'm the guy.
He's the vault boss. He also was a writer as well on Fallout New Vegas. And I know I have talked a lot about, especially like I've made comments like, just because so-and-so and so veteran from so-and-so studio that made a good game 20 years ago is making a game now doesn't mean it holds any sway or sauce and makes the game like instantly good. Just because like the writer of Dragon Age Origins is working on a new RPG made by a who fuck studio, right? Doesn't mean it's going to be great. Doesn't mean it's like, oh, sold, we're done, it's gonna be fucking amazing. It doesn't mean it's gonna be perfect, but it is a step, I believe, in the right direction that Xbox has not been taking. So I am hopeful, at least, maybe naively so. I just think Xbox has been living in like a clown's world, dude. They've been living in this clown world. I don't know whose fault it was. I don't know, maybe it wasn't like one person's fault. Maybe it was a collective fault of everyone working on it all at the same time. Everybody just constantly just doing everything wrong over and over and over again. But I think like if you want to compete with the big boys, with the Breath of the Wilds, Nintendo, with God of War and PlayStation, right? You don't see those and then go South of Midnight, Starfield, or Hellblade 3. That's not a raise. You don't clap back with that. You clap back with Fallout New Vegas 2. That's our big dog. That's how you sell Xboxes. And I just,
I don't know, man.
Also, this isn't even about Xbox's decision to just kill a bunch of studios. They had Double Fine making some random ass Lighthouse game. Before Double Fine has now been announced to be going independent, they're not a part of Microsoft anymore. Before that, they had them making some like random fucking Lighthouse game. When Double Fine is one of the most creative studios I've ever seen. I loved Psychonauts, but I just don't think some random Lighthouse game made by them is going to be like the seller. It's going to be like that's the game I want to buy this year. That's what they wanted to make. I love Double Fine. I do. And sure, it might not have been Xbox's decision, and maybe they didn't. Maybe I'm speaking out of my ass here. I do love Double Fine, but this thing that Phil Spencer did, okay, when he was running Xbox, and he was like, I get the studio does what they want, they make the game they want, everything's fine. Sometimes devs don't make the games, okay, sometimes devs make the game they want, but that game is not actually that good. They don't make the best game. They just make what they want to make. Like, I could say, I want to make spaghetti with blue sauce and cherries. And like, that's what I want to make. But that's not gonna be good. Ultimately, you know what I'm saying? What even is blue sauce? Are we implying that the publishers make the games good? LMAO. Maybe you have garnered that from my terrible explanation of talking. No, I am not implying that publishers make the game good. I am saying sometimes it is not in the best intentions to just let the studio do whatever they want with no say-so from anyone else. It's not about the publisher. It's about, like, you know, getting some just any sort of other voice that isn't the only dev, like the devs only in their head. I'm not saying get fucking Big Dog who plays Candy Crush on his phone and no other video game to give a voice on into the creative process. I think big corpo cucks should have zero input into the creative process of a video game. They are not wanted and they do not deserve to be there. They have no place in the creative process of a video game, because they don't understand video games or how to make them or what makes them good, etc. They give her the money and that's it. Storm Josh was working on a Fallout-like game before this because he wanted to do a Fallout game and Bethesda said no. But now Todd has no say! Todd cannot deny us Fallout New Vegas 2. He can't stick his little grubby, perfectly pressed leather jacket lying hands into Fallout New Vegas anymore. God, there's a nice leather jacket though.
How